Hey guys, welcome back inside the Crazy Ant Farm. We got Jamison Jones coming on the show today to talk about The Wretched.
Yes, it's kick-ass horror film.
Yeah.
Right? Scary as shit.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's available everywhere now thanks to COVID-19 pandemic.
Right.
It was released on video on demand, and you can find it pretty much anywhere. So.
Yeah.
But this guy's got a lot of information. He teaches a master acting class. He's got a lot of valuable information for up-and-comers in the industry.
Yeah.
This is a really good interview.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. The reason why we love doing this podcast so much is imparting wisdom onto basically up-and-comers trying to break into the entertainment industry, and this is just a perfect interview that just falls perfectly with what we do with this show. Like, he's just an amazing guy. The up-and-comers are going to love this one. I'm so excited for everyone to hear this one.
Me too.
Yeah, it's going to be great, but that's later on in the show. Now, let's get a little crazy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Crazy Ant Farm. Holy moly, episode 113.
113.
Episode 100 felt like yesterday. I can't believe we're on 113 already.
Already, 3 months past the 100th episode.
It's fucking wild.
That is crazy how fast they're going by.
I know. I don't even know what to say about it because it feels like it's not even that long. It's not.
No, it's just... But we're having a blast. And you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Definitely, man. And I mean, of course, your host with the most, myself, J-Lo Fantastic, and the one and only Mao.
What's up?
Man, we got a lot to talk about today. Of course, we're talking Disney. You guys know we love Disney.
Of course.
I mean, Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers had a big week, man. Yeah. A lot of announcements there.
Exactly. A lot of stuff to talk about with them. Of course, talking streaming wars. Aunt Becky, back in the news. They're going to be talking about her as well.
Not back on Fuller House, but
no.
Back in the news.
But back in the news, man. It's going to be a crazy show. But before we get this thing started, we got to plug our merchandise website, the one and only crazyantmedia.com, where you can start shopping for the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. You can get some amazing hats like these. You can get some shirts.
Look at this, the logo shirt.
Yes, I got a logo shirt on the way. Should be here later today or tomorrow. Just super excited. And a little bit of company stuff as well. When this drops, guys, the new teaser trailer of The Raven's Vision will be available.
Yes.
So after the show, be sure to head over to our website, click on The Raven's Vision, drop down page, and start watching that latest teaser trailer.
Super excited about that, man. The first draft of the script is done. Like, that thing is just rolling along.
Yeah.
And man, woo!
I know, getting some critiques, and I must say, I mean, we got compared to Dan Fogelman.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that was an epic compliment. So I can't wait to see what we do next.
I'm excited to just keep revising that script. Start working on episode 2. I'm pumped, man.
Yeah, get it as perfect as possible, dog. But yeah, man, a lot of good stuff on the show today. But we got some somber news to start this thing off. Legendary Jerry Stiller, best known for his roles in Seinfeld and King of Queens, passed away from natural causes on Monday at the age of 92. So, I mean, he was rocking and rolling and being as creative as possible up until the very end.
Absolutely. And I feel like, you could kind of see he was on kind of the downside after he lost his wife. I mean, when Ann Mira died, they were 61 years together.
Exactly.
When you lose your soulmate. So of course we should say, for anybody not familiar with How Are You Not, but Ben Stiller's dad. We're talking about Ben Stiller's dad. So it's a huge loss, man. And boy, the community the entertainment community just poured out with, well wishes and condolences. I mean, he was a beloved guy for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of beloved guys as well, another one we lost this week was Little Richard, one of the most iconic rock and roll guys, flamboyant, just epic. He's up there with like Prince and everybody else. He died at 87, battling bone cancer.
Yeah, for a while now, and that's you hate that. I mean, this guy literally, everybody credits Elvis, the king of rock and roll.
Yeah.
But it was Little Richard and some of the lesser known guys who actually came up with rock and roll.
Exactly.
Who created rock and roll. So. Huge loss. And again, so many people come out with condolences and statements after his death. Just all kinds of musicians who credit their careers to him and stuff. So,
I know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I mean, of course, Aunt Becky, we talked about it. A federal judge ruled that Lori Loughlin, this trial is still going to be going on October 5th after losing her bid to having the college bribery case tossed out due to the allegations of the government misconduct.
Yeah, this bullshit. Her and her husband tried to claim that there was some shady shit by the government. It was all a conspiracy and they were being set up and they were trying to be taken as the fall guys for all this kind of stuff. Well, Judge Nathaniel Gorton said, after consideration of the extensive briefing, the affidavits, and all of the information provided by the government and the defendants, the court satisfied that the government did not do anything wrong.
Yeah.
They did not lie or mislead the court. So the defendant's motion to dismiss their indictment was kicked out.
Exactly.
You're going to court, Aunt Becky.
Exactly.
You're going to have to face the music, okay?
Quit trying to mislead the country, okay?
Yeah.
You were once beloved by everyone. Now we see you're shady as shit.
Well, you should have done what Felicity Huffman and so many of the others did. Admit what you did.
Yeah.
Say you're sorry. Genuinely be sorry. This would have been over by now.
Exactly.
It would have been over by now.
Exactly.
You're going to jail,
didn't
Becky.
Felicity Huffman already serve her time?
Yeah,
already out now?
moved on. A lot of them have. So, but these Lori Loughlin and a few of these other parents who just can't own up to what they did, and
I don't understand, man. I don't understand. But now it's time for some fun news. Let's talk about it. We love Disney bigger than the Mouse House. See my new Funko, the Mickey Conductor. Oh my God, it's so badass. But I mean, they're trying to stay afloat, man.
They are.
It's a little crazy right now. Disney has raised nearly $11 billion, that's with a B, and new debt offering as continues to deal with the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on its worldwide businesses.
Yeah.
We saw that Disneyland or Disney World Shanghai opened back up.
Yep, at a 30% capacity. So
Yeah.
not too many people.
No.
But it's a start.
It's something, yeah.
Yep, it's a start. They're going to be underwriting these expenses for a long time, y'all. It's going to include trenches maturing in 2026, 2028, 31, 40, and 51.
Yeah.
So for the next 31 years, these guys are going to be paying off that debt.
That's insane.
So
I know. I mean, we talked about it last week and the week before that. I mean, just the amount, we don't even really realize the amount of shit that Disney has operating underneath its belt.
Yeah,
I mean, theme parks, films, television, streaming now, all these amazing cruise lines, it's insane. And all these people also need to get paid.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And the scary thing about this, though, is that when a company gets that big and it's got that much money, Bob Chapek said that the purpose of some of these proceeds would be for general corporate purposes, obviously, but then also the repayment of debt obligations. So they're acquiring more debt to pay off debt.
Yeah.
That's just a revolving cycle
scary,
of,
man. That's scary.
But I think Disney's going to be okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay.
I mean, it's Disney. I mean, we talk about every week their streaming numbers just keep going boom, boom, boom.
It's so crazy, the streaming numbers. We got a little bit more of that in the news today, too. It's going to be... Woo! But they did finally, again, readjust the film schedule, okay?
Yeah.
Because, COVID is just causing all kinds of changes, right?
Yeah.
They did finally announce their 2020 release schedule for the rest of the year.
Yep.
Will it change again? We don't know. I mean, it might, but...
Possibly.
this is the current right now. You guys know, we talked about this last week on the show. Hamilton was supposed to be in the theaters, right? It was going to be a big thing. You could finally go see Hamilton, even though not really on live stage, but in a theater would have been cool.
Yeah.
That's coming to Disney Plus, and really soon, July 3rd. So that's coming right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
So really excited about that. I think that's going to increase huge numbers for Disney Plus subscribers. I think that's going to be massive. Now, that was the only one that they said would be released directly to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Mulan, still coming to the theaters, guys, July 24th.
Yeah.
Empty Man, August 7th. The one and only Ivan, August 14th. This next one, The New Mutants.
Finally happening.
That one the release date has been changed 5,742 times.
I know.
But this time it's going to happen. Disney says this time you're going to see it.
Right.
You're going to see The New Mutants on August 28th. The Beatles Get Back, coming out September 4th. The Kingsman, the next installment in the Kingsman franchise. The Kingsman, September 18th. Death on the Nile, October 9th. Everybody's Talking About Jamie, October 23rd. Black Widow.
Yes,
finally. Phase 4 kicking off. Marvel,
yeah.
November 6th. Deep Water, that is going to be November 13th. Soul, November 20th. Free Guy, that's the one with Ryan Reynolds, where he's kind of caught in the video game kind of a thing, where he's trying to escape the video game and become an action hero.
That one's an interesting premise.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, but it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So, December 11th, and then in limited release, The Last Duel on Christmas Day, and that's the one that reunites Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a fun one, right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. At least for the rest of the year, God willing, that's the release schedule that you'll be able to see in theaters. So.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy, especially with, like we talked about off air, that California is not going to reopen until, like, maybe the end of August.
Right. I mean, at the earliest.
Yeah.
So, productions, some of these are already in post.
Yeah.
So, that helps. But any of them that have to go back for reshoots or any kind of thing like that, I don't know.
I know.
Hopefully this schedule sticks.
I know. And they keep trying shit, too. They want to just keep putting content out there because we see that ABC is bringing back its Wonderful World of Disney banner for a series of theatrical release movies.
I'm excited about this one.
If you're a youngin' like myself, you don't know of Michael Eisner doing this back in the day and putting on some stuff. So I think that'll be really cool to get really personable with the CEO of Disney. I mean, I think that's awesome.
And I hope it's Chapek that does it, follows in Eisner's footsteps in doing that, because Eisner, a lot of people don't know, but I'm old enough.
Yes.
Eisner followed Walt Disney with that. Walt Disney used to introduce a Sunday night movie, and then Eisner brought it back when he came into the company. Tinkerbell, bling, the little magic on the castle and kind of a thing. So it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
It was huge for Walt. It was huge when Eisner brought it back. And I think it's going to be big for now.
Yeah, I mean they have 4 films that are they've already decided that they're going to run on Wednesday nights for 4 weeks beginning May 20th. Disney's animation Moana with The Rock will lead the series on May 20th, and then followed by Marvel's Thor: Dark World. Don't know why they picked that one.
It's an interesting one.
That's an odd choice in my opinion.
Would have gone with Ragnarok,
Just
I think.
Saying, that one's going to air the following week on May 27th, and then Pixar's Up.
Yes, with our buddy Ed Asner.
Yeah. On June 3rd, and Disney's Animation's Big Hero 6 on June 10th. All 4 are also going to be available on Disney Plus's streaming service.
Right,
I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm excited. All of those choices make me happy except for Thor: Dark World.
Yeah, makes no sense to me.
It just is kind of dark to introduce on a Wednesday night for a family viewing.
Doesn't scream family.
No, because that's what it was all about. The Wonderful World of Disney was all about, let's get the family around the TV, gather them together, and have this family night watching a movie. Thor: Dark World.
Okay. All right.
Now this one makes sense. This is one you gather around the TV, you watch with the family, right?
Sure.
ABC is planning to show unseen footage from Taylor Swift's City of Lover concert in Paris, France. It was last September that she did that. The special Taylor Swift City of Lover concert will premiere straight after the American Idol finale.
Yeah.
That's going to be Sunday, May 17th.
Yeah, there we go.
And then it'll be made immediately available on Hulu and Disney Plus. Interesting, Hulu and Disney Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Taylor Swift needs to be everywhere.
Everywhere. Everybody knows about that documentary she has on Netflix right now as well. So
that's right.
She really is everywhere.
It's good though. Everybody loves Taylor.
Exactly.
T Swift, right?
Exactly. And we were talking about Disney subscribers a little bit earlier. Disney Plus is expected to hit 202 million global subscribers by 2025, and that's way up from the company's previous projections from like 126 they thought, or what they have now.
Yeah, Disney originally, remember we talked about this way back when Disney was getting ready to launch Disney Plus. They only thought 60 to 90 million by 2024.
Yeah.
But now that pace 202 million by 2025.
It's wild.
That's and like we said, a lot of stuff isn't even on there yet.
No.
Just wait. That's the big argument you hear from everybody. A bunch of Netflix lovers and all, and we love all the streamers. So there is, but that's what you hear. Well, they don't have the content that Netflix has. It's coming.
Exactly.
It's coming. They haven't been around for a lot of years either. But yeah, if they stay at this pace, they're going to pass Netflix subscriber numbers like quickly.
Quick as shit.
Quickly.
I know, it's crazy
and it's
shit.
only briefly launched in the UK and like Europe.
Exactly.
You know, it's on a small level. They haven't even expanded to the broad, full-out rollout in Europe yet. So
exactly.
just think about when that hits. I mean,
I can't even believe it. It's insane. It's insane. And I mean, then Disney CEO Bob Chapek confirmed that
Little Bob,
Michael Corleone there, has confirmed that The Mandalorian Season 2 has wrapped production before COVID-19 outbreak, so that is still on pace, and there's not going to be any delays, guys. That's going to be premiered in October.
Just like it was supposed to. Because everybody was talking about, oh, no, you know, is it going to happen? Yes. It was already shot, already in post-production.
Boom.
Going to roll out. And there's a lot of news going on about that, too. Tamura Morrison, who played Jango Fett in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, will play the bounty hunter's son, Boba Fett, in Season 2. And I know what you're thinking. Mandalorian takes place after Return of the Jedi, which we saw Boba Fett die in Return of the Jedi, right? But he made a cameo in this season's Mandalorian. If you guys remember, if you watched really carefully in the end of the Gunslinger, the one with Ma Ning-Wen.
Ming-Na Wen?
Ming-Na Wen, yes.
Quarantine, guys, quarantine.
Yes. Anyway, he was in that episode at the very end. His little spurs kind of showed up. So, interesting. This is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I'm super excited, especially if they give some backstory on how he survived that monster eating him. Maybe he just got shit out or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's always interesting to see how they weave those stories.
I know. Just bob and weave.
Crazy.
Rumor has it that might have a little series planned for Boba Fett as well.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Maybe that's why they're putting him in there, kind of give everybody a new shot at him and then say, okay, here he comes. So
yeah, exactly. I would really love if they portrayed him as the same way as Mando, as like it's all about the money. He's either wherever the money is. Like if the dark side is paying him, he's going over there. If the Jedis are paying him, he's going over there. He'll help Baby Yoda. Right. Whatever.
This is the way.
This is the way.
That's. I mean, I really do feel like that's all their life.
Yeah.
That's so. I don't know.
To continue to survive, man.
Not the only series coming, though. Not the only one. Star Wars Rogue One prequel series. Yes. Focusing on the adventures of Cassian Andor and his droid sidekick K2SO, right?
Okay, all right.
It was sidelined. Remember, we talked about this before. It was supposed to be rolling into production and coming, but it was sidelined because of the old Corona.
Yeah.
It's expecting now, they're saying, to see a lot of familiar faces from the films make a return when it does start filming, including, are you ready for this? This is going to be good. Jimmy Smits. Bail Organa. Apparently is going to be in this.
That would be epic, man. He's in awesome. Like every major franchise.
I mean, seriously, like, and I loved that character. I like Jimmy Smits, so I think this is a smart move. It's definitely going to get people to watch.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars, man, it is rolling on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And then, I mean, more shit. Katie Sackhoff, who voices Mandalorian warrior Bo-Katan Kryze on Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Star Wars Rebels, will be playing the live-action version of her character in Season 2 of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian. They're really just tying all this shit together, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I don't know how they're going to kind of because like I said, it all takes place in different time frames of it. So how they're going to tie all that together is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just super pumped. You know, if you're watching the documentary right now on The Mandalorian and you kind of see John and Dave talking about all of the Star Wars world, you see their passion, you see their enthusiasm, and they are just going to slay it.
Yeah.
You know this is all in good hands, so however it plays out, it's going to be epic.
Super excited, man. I mean, especially this man, Dave, has, he's made so many connections. He's, a live and breathe diehard fan of Star Wars, and it's just so epic to see that on screen and just to be able to see that have someone have control of these projects. So, I mean, I would love to have him on the show.
It would be epic to have him on the show. And it's so funny because he thought it was a joke that he wasn't even be hired for Star Wars.
He thought it was the SpongeBob guys.
I mean, it's just crazy.
I know.
It's great. Are you excited about this next one? I'm excited about this next one.
Let's see.
A National Treasure TV series is in development for Disney Plus.
All right.
And it's coming from Bruckheimer.
All right. Okay.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the movies, National Treasure, so I'm kind of pumped about this one.
Yeah, I was a huge fan as well. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of Nicolas Cage, but I loved him in the National Treasure movies. So, I mean, the only ones I really liked with him were honestly National Treasure and Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
I was a fan of Ghost Rider.
Was good. No. But Bruckheimer says that he's already got the pilot script done and an outline for future episodes. So it's they're also doing a new National Treasure movie. So he's got all that in the works going on and everything. So that's pretty cool. Right. And of course, this isn't the first movie franchise to be made into a series for Disney Plus. They've also got the ones we talked about this on the show before: Turner and Hooch, The Mighty Ducks, and a Beauty and the Beast spinoff are all coming as series to Disney Plus.
Damn. So them, they got shit in the can, man.
There's the content coming, you Netflix people. The content is coming.
Exactly.
All right.
They're working on a lot of freaking stuff.
They really are.
I think the advantage that they have over Netflix is these are all recognizable names, even though it's a series spawning from a movie, and it might not be the same characters in the same aspects. These are all recognizable titles that people just can connect with.
Yeah, and that's Disney's selling point for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Branding.
Yeah.
Like you said, literally, Disney is a brand, and then all of these content that's coming are all branded content.
Exactly.
From Marvel to Star Wars to, National Treasure. It's all, I think they definitely have the leg up there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They also have Hulu.
They also have Hulu with Blumhouse.
That's right.
Oh, my goodness. Hulu's Into the Dark has set the cast for its upcoming Independence Day themed installment and has preserved through COVID-19. I mean, they're still rocking and rolling to finish the July episode of the Blumhouse horror anthology. Barry Watson is attached. Santiago, you could just go for it. I'm bad.
Sanita Henry.
Sanita Henry.
Marvin Crumden Jones from Black Lightning. That's going to be Lily Birdsell, Kate Cobb, Ezra Buzzington, Joshua Burge. They're all set to star, man, which is going to air on July 17th. So that's a pretty awesome cast.
It is. It is. I agree. I apologize. I cannot say your names, but you are all amazing, talented people.
It's all right. I messed up Ming Na, so come on, man.
Blame Corona.
And I love Ming Na when I'm so disappointed. I butchered that name.
I know. I was
How
surprised.
did I? I know. I'm a huge fan.
Super surprised.
But it happens.
Yeah,
it happens.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
It does.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Fueled by strong digital viewing, FXX new comedy Dave has been a breakout. We talked about it a couple weeks ago about how this is bigger than Atlanta now, which was FX's biggest show.
Yep.
But now it's being renewed for a second season, guys, which will premiere in 2021. It's eclipsed the previous FX record holder, like we said, Atlanta, with which averaged around 5.2 million total viewers on all platforms in its first season.
Yeah, we knew this was coming. They said if it stayed on pace with the 5 million plus viewers or so, that it would eclipse Atlanta, and it did.
It did.
There you go. And when that happens, you of course get a second season.
Oh yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you get a second season, right?
Faux show.
Yeah, the Mouse House rolling. Yeah. Got a lot of stuff coming out of there. Mostly Star Wars news, but and Star Wars is Star Wars, so it's always good
Everybody
news,
loves
right?
Star Wars. I mean, come on now.
Yep. And then this next one, we're going to shift on over because they had a huge week. And as we know, we talk about this all the time, the bunny is the biggest competitor for the mouse, right? Warner Media. Get this. Some exhibitors, a.k.a. movie theaters, their websites are going to be sharing in the weekend's revenue when Warner Brothers releases Scoob, the new Scooby-Doo movie on digital and pay-per-view. But how it works is if you go to one of your movie websites and you go to click on Scoob from the movie website, it will direct you to the Warner Brothers site to buy or rent the movie, and then I guess these movie websites are going to get a percentage of the profit from every time they get clicked on to buy the movie or rent the movie.
That's cool. At least they have some sort of arrangement because, I mean, with HBO Max not being out yet, I feel like they should get a little bit kickback of the profits. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense.
It's a smart move by Warner Media, too, because it helps the theaters who are closed. I mean, 10% of everything that's rented or bought isn't a huge amount of money, but when your doors are closed and no money's coming in,
exactly,
it's a huge help. So
exactly.
I wonder if other studios will kind of follow suit with that. But we know Disney won't because they're not a fan of the whole video on demand paying for it.
No.
They just but it'll be interesting to see if NBC Universal or Viacom CBS does it with Paramount or whatever. It'd be interesting to see if they follow suit with that.
Faux show, man. Faux show. And there's more stuff going on with Warner Brothers and Warner Media. Dakota Johnson is in negotiations to join a crazy psychological thriller, Don't Worry, Darling. It's going to be directed by Olivia Wilde. Johnson will appear alongside previously announced cast of Florence Pugh, Shia LaBeouf, and Chris Pine. That's a great fucking cast.
Yeah, dude, I've been excited from the get-go. We talked about this a few weeks ago when there was a bidding war for this script, you know, because Booksmart was
so big, yeah.
And so Olivia Wilde became a hot property, so of course everybody was after it. And now with this cast, are you freaking kidding me?
Like,
I mean, and she's in it too. We should say she has a supporting role in it. So she'll be directing it and in a supporting role.
Epic.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, man. I loved Booksmart. I think she's a brilliant director, and we need more brilliant female directors, so I'm excited for this one.
And she's not afraid to try shit either, because that acid scene was really weird.
Yeah, seriously.
So,
right?
Kudos to you for not being afraid to try things.
No, I like this casting, though, Dakota Johnson, because remember, she was with Shia LaBeouf and Peanut Butter Falcon, and they were great together.
Exactly.
So I'm really curious to see how their relationship plays in here and what they're doing in this movie.
So that chemistry is already established.
Exactly. Great
shit, man. Great shit. I mean, okay. We start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. We see.
Yeah. For some movies, anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. Warner Brothers appears hopeful that the production of Matrix 4, starring Keanu Reeves, will restart at the early July.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we shall see.
I guess so. Apparently, they have signed the entire cast for 8-week extensions, holding them through July 6th, so that if they do start back up filming, they're still locked to these contracts.
Yeah.
This is the crazy part, though. It's scheduled for a 2021 release. Not an exact date, but, or if that'll be changed from if the movie theaters stay closed or whatever. But this thing started filming like way back,
right?
And now they kind of have to come back. So
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I heard a rumor that John Wick 4 and then The Matrix 4 would also be released in the same weekend and or the same month,
right? And that's like crazy.
I know.
I mean, it'll be a Keanu fest at the box office.
A lot, man.
So that was the good news.
Yes.
The bad news is, and you might have heard about this, the UK has loosened restrictions on production. They're allowing things to pick back up. They're allowing companies to start shooting again, which would mean Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers had two biggies over there, the Batman and the Harry Potter spin-off Fantastic Beasts 3, right? Good news? No. They have announced that they are still going to hold up production on those two films.
Damn.
Even though the UK has allowed things to start filming again.
That's shitty.
And I guess the reason for that they're saying is that one of the rules for filming being able to resume over there in the UK is that it must be declared COVID-19 safe. And they just feel like these films are on such a large scale and require so many crew members and so many cast members that they just don't think that they can meet that guideline of COVID safe. So they would prefer to, at this point, keep the production shut down.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair for health, but fuck.
I know, man, because I'm super excited about Batman. I really am pumped about this film. But Robert Pattinson seems to think it's a good thing, though. He says he's enjoying the time off, and the footage that was shot has been amazing, and I guess they've been editing while they've been, and he's looking at it as, a blessing as opposed to a bad thing.
I saw a whole bunch of shit going through my Twitter feed saying that he's happy that he doesn't have a personal trainer right now just on his back, because he doesn't think it's necessary to work out every single fucking day.
Right.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah, which is so funny because Zoe Kravitz started that way and then realized, oh shit, maybe I need to kind of keep in shape, and it's kind of trimmed it back down a little bit. But it's so funny that both of them are talking about their diets and food to try to stay. She made the joke that the costumers are going to have to maybe have Catwoman have a little bit bigger costume.
It's great.
But, I get that. I mean, you can't be expected to stay in that rock hard shape the whole time you're not shooting. Come on, man.
It'd be so rough. So rough. Oh my goodness, this next one sounds so freaking exciting. Sarah Silverman and Seth Rogen Rogen are teaming up to voice a Christmas-themed adult animated comedy series for HBO Max. This is just going to be wild. I'm just imagining Sausage Party during Christmas.
Right. Candy Smalls.
Yeah.
Candy Smalls. That is going to be Sarah Silverman. She is the highest-ranking female elf at the North Pole.
All right.
And when the successor to Santa Claus, who is going to be Seth Rogen, is poached by Amazon, on Christmas Eve, Candy goes for her ultimate dream to become the first female Santa Claus.
Epic. Female empowerment.
Now, is this a dig? Because we talk about this every week on the show that the biggies, the 5 biggies now, are poaching each other's people, right? This is HBO Max, and the premise is that Santa's being poached by Amazon.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a total slap to what's going on in the industry, right?
Exactly. It's really interesting, though, because Seth Rogen had, at least last to my knowledge, had a deal with Sony, but now this is multiple projects of his that are coming over to HBO Max.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, maybe some works in the deal right there.
Yeah, and you know who we don't talk about in this week's show?
Who?
Sony.
Right?
So what's going on, Sony?
What's happening?
You're losing a bunch of projects. We ain't got nothing to say new about you.
What the fuck?
Sony, there's supposedly one of the big 5 left, but are they?
Are they?
I don't know.
We don't know. This next one is a little interesting, and I mean, I'm kind of hopeful, but also kind of worried.
Yeah.
Because maybe they're just putting the successful shows on HBO Max. But anyway, DC's Doom Patrol Season 2 will debut on HBO Max and DC Universe on June 25th.
Yeah, on both.
Yeah, exactly, on both. But my worry is if they put if they put Doom Patrol on HBO Max and Titans on HBO Max, what does that mean for DC Universe? I mean, we've talked about it in previous shows. With HBO Max coming along and starting their own streaming service, would DC Universe become insufficient?
I don't know, because you're right. I feel like HBO Max could cherry pick all the hits.
Yeah.
Just grab Doom Patrol, grab Titans, grab Harley Quinn, the animated series, and pluck them over to and where indeed does that leave?
Yeah.
DC Universe says they're good to go, that they've got funding in place and they've got new series, in place to be developed, and that they feel like they can survive for at least another 2 years with no help at all whatsoever. So, but I don't guess that's going to be their decision so much. I mean, so I don't know, man.
We're going to see. We're going to see. But I will say, if HBO Max decides to take all of these DC Universe shows and put them on HBO Max, also take the comic books as well.
Yeah.
And all the old shows and all the old movies, all that, because that's what makes it great.
Right. I mean, you can literally go through and read entire comic book series on. I mean, it's a brilliant streaming service. It's a brilliant. I'm going to be really disappointed if it ends.
Yeah.
And
I hope Marvel does the same thing and puts it on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
that'd be epic.
It would be.
Yeah.
Here's your Seth Rogen though. American Pickle.
Remember that's what we were just talking about.
American Pickle, the Seth Rogen starring comedy that, like you said, moved from Sony to HBO Max. They've announced their lineup release date August 6th, so they're going to be coming August 6th. That's pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, with it premiering or with it launching, HBO Max launching at the end of May, August 6th isn't that far away. So, because I was wondering, what's the original situation going to look like for HBO Max? What's the original content going to be? Will there be any at all? But I mean, I'm hopeful. If there's a good amount of original content that premieres within the first 2-3 months, I feel like that'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it on over the past several weeks on shows, like some of the old content, the Looney Tunes and the stuff they've got coming. This is apparently Wave 2, but like you said, it launches in this month, May, and then Wave 2 is only August. So I mean, that's not too big of a gap. I guess apparently they've got Search Party Season 3 coming in June.
All right.
Close enough on July 9th. Expecting Amy. That's Amy Schumer's show, July 9th. House of Ho, July 16th. And Frayed, July 30th. So those are all coming in Wave 2.
Yeah.
So, that, I mean, that's a good chunk of original content, though.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, they're doing some interesting stuff, man. They're doing some interesting stuff. Like the CW has just acquired former DC Universe series Swamp Thing. You know, Swamp Thing premiered on May 31st, 2019 on DC Universe and was canceled like literally 2 episodes in, like 2 weeks in after its debuted on the streaming service.
Yeah.
Um,
It did play out its entire season, though.
It did.
It just, they announced the cancellation
like 2 weeks after it premiered.
It was just
but,
crazy.
Like, devil's advocate here, maybe this is their first cherry pick trying to make everything in their way.
I hope so, because the CW, as we know, is the home of most of DC's television universe, right? Yeah. And we should say, if you listen to the show, you know, but if you haven't heard, that the reason it was canceled is because the production company fucking screwed up with the tax incentives in the state of North Carolina where they were filming this thing. First of all, set in Louisiana. Why the fuck weren't you actually shooting it in Louisiana?
Right.
They have great tax incentives, by the way. Anyway, it was a fiasco on the production company's part. It was a whole big misunderstanding. It had nothing to do with whether people were watching the show or liked the show or any of that.
Exactly.
It was just budget costs and because of the mess up with the tax incentive. So I think it'll do. I think people are going to watch it, and we're going to tell you in a little bit when you can watch it on the CW. But I think people will watch it, and I think it will get picked up for a second season. All the DC shows do pretty well on the CW, so I feel like maybe this is going to be good. Maybe this is going to be good.
I hope so, man, because like the couple episodes that I did watch, it was epic. It was epic, so it deserves it.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Wild, man. Absolutely wild.
And we should say, here you come. They did. That's not all they announced. They announced their entire 2020-21 lineup.
A lot. Yeah. A lot.
I have something to say about this too, but let's get through what they did say, and then we'll talk about what they didn't say.
Yeah.
They announced that in January they will be launching their 2020 and 2021 schedule. They're going to air the lineup of acquired scripted series, like what we just talked about, Swamp Thing, and an alternative programming, as well as the conclusion of, because everybody wants this, and everybody was pissed when they thought this wasn't going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yes.
The conclusion of Supernatural.
Yes.
The finale will happen in the fall where it was supposed to happen. So that's good news. The late start of the season will not impact the size of the orders of the shows. They're still going to be anywhere between 13 and 22 episodes, like all their shows are, depending on what show it is. So there was no change in that. And the mid-season is going to start with May, which is going to give it a really tight schedule because, as you guys know, all the new shows usually debut in October on the CW.
Right.
They do that weird release schedule, but they're sticking to that. So the window between mid-season and then October is going to be real short this time.
Interesting.
But it'll be interesting, yeah. On the CW's mid-season, so don't be scared here when we start announcing these shows that they announce. These shows are still there. It's okay. Supergirl and Dynasty, Roswell, New Mexico, In the Dark, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Kung Fu, the reboot of Kung Fu, and the Republic of Sarah. We've talked about they're there. They're going to be in mid-season. They're going to be in May. Yeah. So when we tell you what's coming, don't panic when you don't hear those shows. They're still there. They're all good. It's safe.
It's fine.
It's safe. They're going to be there. They're just coming in May.
Yeah.
They have not made a decision on Lucy Hale's Katie Keene, the spinoff from Riverdale.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're going to wait a few more weeks to see if the streaming numbers can maybe boost the numbers on it. I guess the regular linear, when you're watching it on the CW or whatever, has been kind of soft.
I mean, I feel like the whole Riverdale franchise has kind of died down a little bit. I'm just saying, I haven't watched the new Katie Keene series, so I don't know about that one. But Riverdale, personally, I dropped off after season 3 because it was weird.
It got weird, right? Like I think the whole premise of what made it awesome was gone.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I don't know. So for anybody waiting, and boy, they took their time releasing this thing too. Yeah. I guess they weren't even sure. But for the rest of the year, for the fall, coming up in the fall, here's your schedule. On Monday, Whose Line Is It Anyway? It's going to go back-to-back episodes. And then Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Interesting.
That's your Monday lineup. Tuesday, you're going to get Swamp Thing and Tell Me a Story. two picked up series, one from CBS, one from DC Universe.
Yep.
Wednesday, you're going to have 2-sentence horror stories, Dead Pixels, and Coroner. That's your Wednesday lineup. And then this is the one everybody's excited about. Thursday, Supernatural. Yes, coming in the fall, Supernatural. We'll be back. We will see the ending of that. And then The Outpost is also going to be on Thursday. Friday, World's Funniest Animals. That's your fall lineup. Yep. That's what you guys are going to get. So it's like some unscripted stuff and some pickups and then Supernatural.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that sounds okay.
Yeah, I mean it sounds like they're just trying to make everything work. And, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, especially if you have to air 2 episodes back to back. I'm sure fans aren't going to be mad about that.
No.
So, I mean, you got to make a lemonade out of some lemons. I feel you, man. I feel
exactly. You. And then all of your new shows plus returning favorites when they launch in January, the new 2021. Here's your lineup. All American and Black Lightning will be Monday. And then you will have The Flash, Superman and Lois. The Flash and Superman and Lois on Tuesday. And that Superman and Lois is in the time slot that we normally saw Arrow in. We'll talk about that. Wednesday is Riverdale and Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
Thursday is Jared Padalecki's new one, which makes sense because after the fall, Supernatural's gone. Walker, the reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger, is coming. That's one's going to be Thursday, along with Legacies. Friday, another Penn and Teller Fool Us. That's going to be a new night. They're moving to Fridays.
All right.
And the same thing with Whose Line Is It Anyway? They're going to move to Fridays when the new season starts. Sunday, Batwoman and Charmed. The Charmed reboot's going to move to its new night on Sunday. So, there you go.
Yeah, man.
What did we not say? Green Arrow and the Canaries.
Yeah.
You know, the backdoor pilot that was huge in the ratings? It was. Can I remind you, CW, that it was huge in the ratings? Everybody wants it. Not a word.
Nobody
Crickets.
knows.
Silence. They didn't say it wasn't moving forward. They didn't say it is moving forward. They said fucking nothing. There are a shit ton of us nerds out there that need to know, CW.
Exactly.
Is Green Arrow and the Canaries coming? We just want to know. I think everybody deserves to know. Catherine McNamara deserves to know. Katie Cassidy deserves to know. Julian Hargitay deserves to know. We all deserve to know. It was a brilliant show. It needs to come. And for anybody at Warner Media who is listening, take this advice. If you pass on it at the CW, fucking pick it up on HBO Max.
Just saying.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
And the people need the Arrow in Arrowverse. It's still the fucking Arrowverse. You need an Arrow. Done. I'm done ranting.
Are you sure?
Yep. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Funny. And this next one, because I'm old, as we've determined over and over, as J-Lo likes to tell me every week.
Yes.
HBO Max has ordered a pilot and 5 additional scripts for a Head of the Class reboot.
I had no idea what this was. He had to tell me. I have no idea.
Why are we continuing to do reboots? Stop with the fucking reboots.
Just stop.
Head of the Class was a great show. It launched a shit ton of careers. You remember Robin Givens? She's on Riverdale.
Yeah.
You know Robin Givens, right? Mike Tyson's ex. You know Robin Givens was a teenager on Head of the Class.
Yeah.
That's kind of where she became famous. Howard Hessman, you know, Johnny Fever from WKRP in Cincinnati. For all you old folks out there, you know who I'm talking about. He was like the teacher. Also, Brian Robbins, who went on to form a production company and created Smallville and a shit ton of shows that you watch on TV to this day. Dan Schneider, the king, mecha god himself of Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, iCarly and Drake and Josh and Victorious and like everything basically on Nickelodeon. Dan Schneider, all of these people were on that show. They were all the teenagers in the class with Howard Hessman teaching that. We don't need this.
We don't need it.
We got a Saved by the Bell reboot.
I know.
We don't need another high school reboot.
No.
We shouldn't do the Saved by the Bell reboot.
Just
we don't
saying.
need a Head of the Class reboot. Okay.
Just saying.
I feel like I'm I'm just getting it.
You're very ranty today.
I am ranty, but we don't like reboots.
I know.
There are creators out there that have original content that deserve to be seen, and we keep doing reboots.
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Like ourselves, go watch our teaser trailer.
That's right.
I'm just saying. I don't know, man.
I don't know either, but just let's. I'm excited for Warner Media and HBO Max, and then I'm also worried about what the fuck is going on at Warner Media.
Yeah.
Get your shit straight with the DC universe. And also stop doing reboots.
Just saying.
Here's two that aren't coming back. Now we're switching over to NBC Universal, okay? NBC Universal has decided to give the old Evo to The Purge and Treadstone. Treadstone's that Bourne Identity television series.
Yeah.
Remember, he's from the Treadstone.
I could see that.
Yeah. Neither coming back.
Yeah.
The Purge aired 2 seasons. Treadstone only got 1 season. Both are done.
Deuces.
Yes.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It almost seems like you don't give enough time for the shows to build up an audience. And mean, maybe The Purge wasn't that good. I mean, they should have stopped after the freaking umpteenth installment of The Purge.
Right.
So, but Treadstone, you just got to build an audience, especially after 1 season. It sucks.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that because I guess in essence it was the prequel to the whole Treadstone thing that launched Bourne.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But they also canceled Dare Me. So, I mean, they're just announcing cancellation after cancellation after cancellation.
It's super wild.
They are doing some cool stuff, though, and this next one is really cool.
I know, right? Like, The Roots, the house band for NBC's The Tonight Show. Everybody knows about The Roots.
Yeah, The Roots, all the little videos that they do, those music videos that they do. With,
Hell yeah. They are drumming up some new business for their production company. Didn't know they had a production company, so that's epic.
215 Entertainment.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, now you know.
They're striking a first look deal with Universal Television. Questlove, who is the drummer, everybody knows Questlove, and then Black Thought, who is the frontman of the group, are working with Universal Television and Universal Television Alternative Studios to develop scripted and non-scripted programming and specials for the studio.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I mean, and will they show up on the Peacock or where, NBC or like where at? It doesn't really say, but that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are badass,
I agree.
and them and Jimmy Fallon are just brilliant
Hilarious,
together.
yeah.
And this continues their relationship. They've been at NBC for a long time, since 2009 with Jimmy Fallon. So, good for them.
Yeah.
We need more talented, creative people like that putting out original content.
Just saying.
Whoop, whoop. Good move.
Yeah.
Good move, NBC Universal.
Proud of you.
Still hate your fucking name for this next story, but
Just saying.
Peacock.
They will begin streaming at-home variety show, a short-form weekday series featuring stars from NBC Universal's family to aid COVID-19 relief efforts.
I know, and you're excited about this one, I know, because your boy Seth MacFarlane is going to host every episode.
I mean, that's just fucking epic. I mean, we need more Seth MacFarlane in all of our lives.
Yeah, and we know he signed a major deal with NBC Universal recently, so this is part of his mega overall deal with them. Yeah. Seth MacFarlane's another one who's just a brilliant creator who's putting out original content.
Exactly.
So, yeah, we love original content.
Exactly.
Still hate the name. Seth, can you get them to
rethink
this Peacock thing, man? Like, what the fuck?
Can you get in there? Like, fucking crazy.
Can you get in there? Woo! I don't know.
That's a home digger, Bobby.
I bet Seth could get in there. I mean, switching to Viacom CBS. Mr. Tyler Perry, Atlanta's he damn near owns Atlanta now. I really do think he owns Atlanta now. Basically, he is reopening for business this summer. That's right. Tyler Perry Studios is opening for business to shoot a couple of BET series that are going to be coming in July. So that's exciting.
Super excited, especially for us. We're going to be making our way down there, man.
Exactly. I mean, you were literally just talking about this, about how we think a lot of productions are going to be, to try to survive now, especially since California, fucking August, are going to be making their way to Hollywood South, Atlanta. A lot of shit already films. I mean, I don't know if you guys are aware, but like all the Avengers movies and like all these shit, the majority of them are shot in Georgia already.
Exactly.
So this is exciting, though. And by the way, Tyler Perry, the largest film studio in the country. Did you know it's bigger than all of the ones in Burbank?
Right.
Bigger. It's huge.
Epic, man.
Reopening. Sisters. is going to begin on July 8th with the Oval starting on July 28th.
Yeah.
22 episodes orders for both shows. Filming for each series is going to take place over approximately 2.5 weeks. And Perry did want to go on record. He did say that he is working closely with officials for the states and the unions in the states to ensure that all the regulations under the new COVID-19 rules and stuff are being met.
That's cool.
And that everything will be done safely.
That's cool.
So he's not just going to, I'm opening it up and doing, he's doing everything the proper way. So
well, good for him, man. Good for him. I'm glad he's trying to bring more business back into the entertainment mecca of, Atlanta.
It's huge. And Tyler Perry is the reason. I think. It's amazing. I think if Tyler Perry didn't initially make his stuff in Atlanta and do everything he did in Atlanta, that whole film incentive program never happens. And we know now, the film industry and the incentive program in Georgia is massive, and it lures just literally billions of dollars into that community, on a yearly basis. And that's Tyler Perry.
Yeah, exactly.
He started it, so I think it's great that he's continuing to do stuff there.
Hell yeah. Oh, this next one sounds really interesting. Russell Crowe, nobody's heard from him in a while, or at least I haven't. Will headline American Son, a mob thriller that was previously set up at Sony.
Yet another one that Sony lost.
Bye. But is now at Paramount. The film follows a man who builds a multiracial crime syndicate after falling under the control of a mobster played by Crowe.
I can see Crowe as a mobster.
Oh yeah, that'll be badass. I loved him in that one with Denzel Washington.
American Gangster. Yes, it was so badass,
good,
right?
So good. Even though he wasn't a mobster, he was the cop. But still, he knows.
So apparently, this guy takes down Crowe, though. The premise is this guy takes down his mentor, Crowe, earns a spot alongside the Italian and Russian mafias.
Damn. That's a lot happening.
So badass motherfucker. You in the Russian and Italian mafias. Right. I'm just saying, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, that's really.
Dun dun. Law and Order alum. Sex in the City. Mr. Big. Sex in the City alum. Chris Noth is going to be joining Queen Latifah in the Equalizer reboot.
Oh, shit.
What?
I know, right?
What? It's a reboot, so I'm not overall happy with this. I thought the original show was pretty good. I loved the Denzel Washington movies. If you were going to keep doing them, just keep doing them with Denzel. But fuck it, we're doing a reboot, and Queen Latifah is taking over, so it's going to be. Is. But Chris Noth, come on. If you're going to pair somebody with Queen Latifah and you're going to be doing a CIA law enforcement type, espionage show, Chris Noth's badass to do it.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Exactly. He's going to be playing William Bishop, and he's going to actually be Robin, Robin is Queen Latifah's character. He's going to be her first handler at the CIA.
Okay.
They have a very father-daughter relationship kind of a thing, so.
It's going to be interesting, man.
I love both. I love Queen Latifah. I love Chris Noth. Not so sure about the reboot.
So funny.
Gonna go with it, though.
Yeah.
Gonna go with it.
Right.
This next one, speaking of reboots, I fucking hate.
Yeah.
One Day at a Time.
Yeah.
It's not Bonnie Franklin. It's not Valerie Bertinelli. It's not. No, it's some remake. And nothing against the cast and crew. They're all brilliant. They're fantastic actors, and they're all wonderful people. Just fucking hate reboots. But this one won't die. Remember we talked about One Day at a Time? They were going to be, because they're shut down and everything, they were going to do an animated one, right?
Yeah.
An animated. Woohoo! Well, they shared the first look at the animated episode, and guess who's in it?
Who?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, all right.
Not only will this reboot not die, but now they have Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Right.
Of course everybody's going to watch it now, because nobody will not watch it with Lin-Manuel Miranda. I love Lin-Manuel Miranda. I can't wait to see Hamilton on Disney+.
How many times can you say that name fast?
Yeah, not very many.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I said Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I fucked up Ming-Na Wen.
I know, right?
It happens. I love you, Ming. I love you.
I love you. Come on the show.
Anyway, that he's going to join returning guest stars Gloria Estefan and Melissa Fornero.
Yeah.
I'm still not watching. I'm still not watching. Let's move into the streamers, because we can't talk anything without streamers, right?
It's all about the streamers.
Netflix. Reese Witherspoon is going to star in not one, two upcoming rom-coms for Netflix. She is everywhere. She's got deals with Apple. She's got deals with Hulu. She's got deals with Amazon. She's got deals with Netflix. They just keep coming, man. Her Sunshine Productions. Killing it.
Everywhere.
2 upcoming romantic comedies. Your Place or Mine, and The Cactus.
Interesting.
Yes. She will also produce the projects through her Hello Sunshine Company. Your Place or Mine is going to center on two long-distance best friends who change each other's lives when one decides to pursue a lifelong dream and the other volunteers to help her. On her friend's teenage son.
Oh.
You know what the other interesting one about that is? Jason Bateman is on as a producer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Jason Bateman and Reese Witherspoon.
Always produces some good content.
He does. The Cactus. Guess where this one's based out of? I mean, The Cactus. I have a theory. The Cactus is based on Sarah Haywood's best-selling novel of the same name, which was also Witherspoon's book club pick last month because she's got a book club too. It focuses on a woman's unexpected pregnancy at 45 years old, causing her to rethink the structured life she has created for herself. She then goes on an unconventional journey towards love, family, and learning to embrace the unexpected.
Oh, very nice.
I mean... See, Reese Witherspoon, the only problem I see there is that you don't look 45.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she looks exactly the same as she did.
Like, exactly. It's absolutely crazy. She's amazing, though. So it's awesome to see her prosper and with all this female-centric content.
Speaking of another guy who's just rocking and rolling, right, with Netflix?
Yeah. In a 7-figure deal, Netflix has acquired our man from Jersey, a star vehicle for Mark Wahlberg. He apparently signed an overall deal with Netflix as being Netflix's guy right now.
Apparently, I mean, this is his. I guess they're developing this as a series of films. We already talked about that they're doing a series of films with Spencer Confidential.
Yeah.
So Mark Wahlberg, like, kicking ass at Netflix, man. This one's going to be scripted by Safe House writer David Guggenheim, and it's described as a blue-collar 007.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I thought 007 was blue-collar, but
yeah.
No, he's gray-collar. Never mind. Never mind. It's fine.
7 figures, though. Wahlberg is rolling in it, man. Millions and millions of dollars.
Exactly. Netflix has also slotted June 5th as a fourth and final season of 13 Reasons Why, which kind of dropped off after season 2. I'm just saying. Joining the cast for the final season are Gary Sinise as Robert Elman, a compassionate, insistive, no-nonsense adolescent and family therapist who works to help Clay Jensen.
Because Clay is still fucked up.
Still fucked up.
Still fucked up.
Feel sorry for this kid.
Yeah. And Jean-Louis Castanelos is going to be Diego Torres, a charismatic, aggressive, and fiercely loyal leader of a divided football team.
Okay. All right. Maybe another Bryce character after Bryce got killed.
Maybe.
Whatever.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just think this should have ended after season 1.
Yeah. It should have been a miniseries.
It should. I mean, there was 13 reasons why. All 13 reasons played out. We found out why. Done. This did not have to be extended.
It did not. So now going over to Apple, Ridley Scott and his shingle, Scott Free Productions, has inked a first look deal television with Apple under a multi-year deal. Scott Free will develop global television projects for Apple TV Plus. Scott David Zucker and Clayton Kruger and Jordan Sheehan acting as executive producers on all of those projects. Competition for the company was pretty competitive, so I mean they really could have went anywhere they wanted, but they chose Apple.
Yeah, I mean smart move. Apple's got money. Apple wants to put stuff back. I mean, come on, Ridley Scott's one of like the best directors in the last 25, 30 years, easy. And Scott Free has had a lot of hits. So this only makes sense that a lot of studios or a lot of streamers are trying to go after it. So congratulations, Apple.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Ridley Scott, so I'm excited to see what he's going to bring, and what we're going to get for Apple.
For sure.
Some adventure type stuff, maybe some excitement, because Ridley does great action adventure movies. And so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. And this next thing I'm pretty excited about. San Diego Comic-Con, we announced that it was canceled. All the attendance and everything was canceled.
Nerds everywhere were crying.
So sad. But then they also announced that an at-home version of the event will be streamed this summer. The date has yet to be announced. The convention was originally slated for to begin July 23rd, and now the digital version is going to be held somewhere around that date. They're just probably trying to figure out all the logistics. So.
I'm excited about this though. Even their little promo poked fun at, because you guys, San Diego Comic-Con is a hard ticket to get.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible. They over the past 20, 30 years, we talked about this on the show a couple weeks ago. This is where all the big studios launch their shit, especially superhero tent pole movies, and to get into a hall and listen to the presentation is almost fucking impossible.
Yeah.
So, but now with this digital version of it, you're going to be able to. Yeah. Everybody gets a pass, like they said, and you can sit on your couch and watch all these epic things that you had no shot in hell of doing,
exactly.
Before. So I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be epic, and maybe we'll even stream along.
I hope so. Right. I mean, that'd be cool. We're nerds.
Yeah,
of course we're going to watch if we can.
For sure.
Why wouldn't we be?
For sure.
It feels good to end industry news on a good subject, though.
Yeah.
This is a good thing that's happening, San Diego Comic-Con.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, my goodness. But anyway, guys, now it is time for our guest segment. We got the one and only Jamison Jones coming on the show. We're so super freaking excited. Yes. Indie film prodigy, basically anything you have seen, he's been on. He's that guy that you just cannot place. He's epic, man. I mean, he's such a great guy, such a great teacher. I mean, just the way he conveys his emotions and his storytelling. Just in this interview, you could see why people would want to learn from him.
Yeah, he's definitely passionate about what he does, and he's covered all of the base. I mean, theater, television, film. Guy has done it all. So yeah, I mean, and some really solid advice.
Yeah.
Like you said at the top of the show, this is what we kind of really pride ourselves on with the show, is for the up and comers who listen to get the advice that they need to somehow survive in this industry or make it in this industry. And today, this interview gives you a lot.
Agreed. Well, here he is.
Jamison Jones, welcome inside the Crazy Ant Farm, man. How are you?
Hey, thank you. Fantastic. I'm so glad to be here in the ant farm.
Yeah.
Now remember, it's got crazy in the title, so we can't promise that it won't get a little crazy.
Right?
That's right. I'm ready for some crazy. I'm already going a little crazy.
There we go.
That's right. It's quarantine, right? We're all a little crazy at this point.
That's right. We're all just trying to keep our sanity here. So.
Definitely. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's right. Well, listen, man, we're so excited to be talking to you today. I mean, the Wretched, we're definitely going to be talking about the new movie that just came out, so we're super pumped about that. And, man,
fantastic.
Dude, your list of credits, man, some impressive stuff. You've been on, some huge shows. Burn Notice was an all-time favorite of mine, so that's awesome. But,
fantastic.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And we're going to get into that, too, and talk a little bit about your career for sure. But what we like to do first is, because we got a lot of up-and-comers that listen to the podcast that are trying to get into the industry. So we always kind of like to have our guests introduce themselves a little bit and kind of talk about how they got into the industry and how they made the move to where they're at today. So was it something you always envisioned yourself doing? Did you always know I'm going to be an actor? Or how'd that happen, man?
Well, as a kid, every Sunday we'd go to church, and then right afterwards we'd go out to the movies. And I just fell in love with this idea of storytelling. And as a young human, I knew that it was something that I wanted to do. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with it. And so I started getting into theater in high school. And then I sort of fell in love with that side of things, not really having any sort of way to get connected to the film and television industry. I just started doing theater, and musicals are what I had the opportunity to work on.
And that was in Michigan, right? You were in Michigan?
Yeah, that was at Michigan. Yeah. I was terrible singer, terrible dancer.
So theater was the obvious choice, right?
Exactly. So I was just looking for any opportunity to do something where I could tell those stories, but not sing and dance. And so I had a wonderful program in high school, and it just gave me the opportunity to do a little bit of that. And there was a theater company not too far away at Oakland University that always brought in these amazing actors from New York. It was one of the regional theaters, and I became a part of a little education program there, and really got an introduction to what real acting is, which then made me want to be a real actor. And I guess
and you realized you didn't have to always sing and dance,
right?
That's right. And then what I thought real acting was doing classical theater and Shakespeare and all of that stuff, Chekhov. And so I I went to college and I studied all of that, and I ended up at this wonderful program at the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, which is one of the top training programs in the country for actors. And I feel like I came out of that, though, wearing my training like a suit of armor.
I can only imagine.
Exactly. So, the whole idea of an actor is to, in a sense, kind of expose yourself, to be naked, to be vulnerable, to be available. And here I am walking around in this steel suit of armor. That's my training.
Just the opposite, right? No vulnerability at all.
Exactly. Vulnerable. No, I can't. I can yell, though.
There we go.
That's hilarious. Well, I mean, do you still do a lot of theater? Because, I mean, you do obviously film, television, and theater, such different mediums in their own rights. Do you have one that you prefer over the other, or?
You know what? I don't. I love them all, and I love them all for different reasons. I still try to do theater when I can. I'm actually supposed to be in Germany right now doing a new play called American Son at the English Theater of Frankfurt, which obviously got canceled because of all this. Yeah, exactly. So I really do love theater. I think it's the actor's medium, and I think it is the place where an actor is made. I think all actors have to train on the stage because it forces you to tell the whole story in one sitting.
Right.
And it forces you to have a through line for the character. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and an end. There's a point where the character changes. They start this way. There's the inciting incident. There's all of this stuff that leads up to that climax or that crux move. And then you have the denouement that comes down the other side. And I think all of that is essential. And part of the problem, I think, with actors that don't have that training is you get into film and television, you're telling stories in little snippets, but if you don't have a thread or a through line, then you're always dependent upon the director to give that to you.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. And of course you get, unlike the other mediums, you get that instant gratification. You know what's working and what isn't because you have a crowd right there to let you know.
That's right.
So,
let's be honest. That's what it really is, right? It's the applause.
That's right. There's no better feeling than that applause, but there's got to also be, there's no worse feeling than that audience in silence when you think something was working and it wasn't, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh, this line's really funny, and they're crickets.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's definitely a medium. We've had a lot of guests on in the past who talk about that, though, that it literally is. They go back and do theater just to stay, tuned. They think of it as like if you were a fighter or an athlete, this is where you train. You go back to theater and train because, I think exactly what you said. It's a medium that you have to do in order to hone your craft.
Yeah, absolutely. I just finished a production of Arsenic and Old Lace, and man, that show is one of those kind of tried and true comedies, but it's one of those plays that if it doesn't go off right, it can be terrible.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
And it's got to move. It's got to move at 100 miles an hour, and you just got to trust that you are clear and articulate enough that the audience will jump on and take the ride with you. But if you slow down for a second and they get ahead of you, they just start judging.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. And a few years before that, I did Macbeth, which taught me a lot about the human condition and human behavior, and getting into the mind of that character is, wow, that's something. I absolutely love that play.
I bet.
I can only imagine, man. And you travel everywhere, basically all around the world to perform theater. Where is your favorite place to perform? Are the audience different in some regions of the world, or are they kind of all the same?
No, I think they're very different. Okay. I was really excited to hear the audience's response to this play American Son in Germany, because they have a different perspective on the things that are happening in the story or the things that they've seen in the news. I mean, this one feels a little bit like it's kind of ripped out of the headlines.
Right.
So, they have a different perspective on things, or they'll find something funny that isn't funny here, or you knew that this line wasn't funny and they laugh at it. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic to be in that situation with an audience from a completely different demographic than you're used to playing, and seeing what they find interesting and engaging and of course funny.
That's an excellent point. It's just what some people, what one culture might find funny, another might not. That's a really good point. So kind of like going from Michigan to California, I would have to imagine that was quite the culture shock.
Oh, definitely. And then Midwest to
the So you've shed the armor, okay? You're showing a little bit of vulnerability and everything. How does one shed the armor and make the jump from theater to film and television? Because, like I said, it's a completely different genre. It's got to be a whole different ballgame, right?
Yeah, there are aspects of it that are very different, and there are aspects of it that are exactly the same. And this is what I tell actors all the time, because I have a master class that I teach on Mondays for actors, and the preparation is the same. The given circumstances are the same. The character is the same. The way that you prepare, the character bio, the guideposts, the things that you do to prepare for telling that story are the same. It's the difference is that at some point the camera is close enough to be inside the performance. And no longer are you presenting this material to an audience that's sitting before you. They're now in your head, and you don't have to, in a sense, work so hard or tell them. And audiences can't stand it when you tell them what to think or you show them where they should look, or they love it when they look over at their friend and they go, I bet you didn't really realize this, but he's the killer.
Right. Exactly.
That's right. So audiences love to feel smart. So if you're telling them everything, or what I like to call telegraphing everything, then they just tune out. They go, oh, that doesn't feel like human behavior. That doesn't feel like the way somebody would do that or say that. And they tune out. And they don't really know exactly why they're tuning out. But human beings are experts at being human beings. And that's why every audience member is a critic, right? Because they know what it is to be human. So Absolutely. They don't want to be lied to,
Did you find it difficult to because we've had a lot of people that came from a theater background, and they said one of the things they found the most difficult was to not overact when they made the transition to film and television, because on stage, you've got to project yourself, you've got to put yourself out there boldly, and they said sometimes it was difficult to step back a little bit because they didn't have to boldly project their voice or make their movements so wild as they would have to on stage. Did you find that transition a little bit difficult, or no?
Yeah. And I think that's really, quite honestly, where I shed the suit of armor. Where I went, okay, I don't need to present this. I don't need to push this. I don't need to show this. I don't need to telegraph this. And there was a point in which I kind of surprised myself and went, oh my God, I am actually feeling the things that I'm feeling. Yeah. I'm actually feeling the things that I'm saying.
That's right.
They didn't teach me that.
Right.
It's amazing what happens when that armor comes off.
Exactly. It's almost like less is more when it comes to television and film, because you just got to portray, like, you got that close-up shot that's literally right in your face, and less is more, I feel like.
Yeah, and to that end, and almost on the opposite side of it, there are some actors out there that think that they should just do nothing and be natural with different words. It's just me with different words, and that's not the case, because a writer went to great lengths to write this piece, and I think the actor has to honor that by saying, okay, yes, how is this character similar to me? And let me embrace that part of myself. And then how is this character different from me? And let me go out into the world and observe that and digest that and bring that in and do a little research and pull all that together, so that it's not just me with different words. It's me playing this part that this writer wrote with great intention, and that the director will hopefully direct with great intention, so that you can really tell a story as opposed to just being naturalistic.
I got to tell you, listening to you talk, there's no doubt that you're passionate about what you do. Yeah. You can also clearly tell that you enjoy. I can see why you have a master class, because you just have that tone in your voice where you could tell that you enjoy imparting wisdom, or how to approach things. That's fantastic. So I am curious, how do you approach acting? Are you a method actor, or what is your approach when you get a script and you're breaking down a character?
Well, it's such an interesting term, the method. I feel like part of it has gotten a bad name, and part of it is misunderstood, and part of it is, no, I'm not a method actor. I don't feel like if I have to play a drug addict that I have to go out and become a drug addict to play one.
Right,
exactly.
But that's not necessarily what the method is, you know, and I think that's where it's kind of been misunderstood. The idea of being a method actor is that you go out and you do some level of research so that you have a clearer understanding of the plight of the character. And so I think, there is part of me that does that work. There's part of me that really wants to embrace the character in a way that it allows me to kind of shed the skin of who I am and take on the skin of who that other human being is. But I always start with the script. I really think that's the place that you've got to start. And sometimes the script is really helpful and it tells you everything, but the best writer couldn't put the complexities of one character in a 90-page script, let alone a 10,000-page novel. So I think it's up to the actor to really take that 90, 100, whatever pages and figure out through a little bit of text detective work who this person is and how to get in their mind. And then I think on top of it, you start to add to it and create a character that's maybe a little beyond what the writer wrote, which is great too.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I was just about to ask your process. Do you work closely with the writer and director trying to figure out exactly what they want, or do you try to go beyond that and try to just go for something and see if they like it or not?
Well, I always feel like I've just got to go for it and see if they like it or not. Fortunately, with The Wretched, I had the most amazing directors I've ever worked with, the most passionate and excited directors I've ever worked with. So they were super enthusiastic about sitting down for an hour or so, just talking about the backstory of who this guy was and how he got to where he is now. And some of it really paralleled and some of it didn't. And I found myself kind of going, well, where it doesn't parallel, do I take what the Pierce brothers wanted or do I take what I want? And I oftentimes, I always tried on whatever they wanted and, just to see how it fit. And most of the time it was really great. And it was just such a wonderful collaborative experience. But on top of it, these guys came to the table so prepared.
Nice.
Every detail was worked out. This is great.
I bet. Yeah, we're excited to talk about this film.
Seriously.
Do you take the same approach with your auditions as well? Because I mean, we all know and we hear constantly, it's 90% auditioning, 10% working. Do you take the same risk in auditions? You just kind of like, this is what I think and I'm just going to go for it? Or do you try to reserve it a little bit? And are you a self-tape guy? I feel like the whole industry has kind of like gone to this self-tape now, as opposed to the cattle call where you walk in the room.
Yeah, I think you got to go for it. As an actor, it is the one time that you get to do whatever you want. From that point forward, the producer's going to tell you something, the director's going to tell you something, the writer's going to tell you something. Everybody's got their own input of what they're going to tell you. So I think the audition is the one time you go, all right, let me throw caution to the wind and just do what I want to do. And I think oftentimes you walk in with that. It's really refreshing for casting to see that, to go, oh, well, I didn't expect that. Oh, that's a new look at that or a new approach to that character. So I think most of the time it's effective. But just on the DL, I think auditions are your ability to kind of bullshit your way through something you don't know. Can I say that?
Sure, absolutely. We've got the E next to the title. It's all good, man.
Because here's the thing, you're dealing with an educated audience and not that they're necessarily smart, but they know their story or they wrote their story or they know what they're looking for or they, the director told them what they're looking for. So you're dealing with people who already know the story. So what you're trying to do in the audition is walk in and convince them that you're the guy for the job. And then I think once you get the job, now it's your time to figure out who the character is, figure out the depth and complexity of what the relationships are. And then you've got to really kind of take the audience by the hand who don't know the story and guide them through it. So I think they're totally different things. And that's why some actors are really great at auditioning and other are not,
Yeah, that
makes complete sense.
Yeah, excellent point. Yeah. Let's talk about the industry for a minute, because like I said, you have a master class and you just seem very educated about the craft. What are your thoughts on the industry and its, I guess, change, if you will, of how it's kind of going from the theatrical side to the streamers? Are you a fan of the streamers and how? I mean, because now you can basically take a television series and it's like you're shooting a film every week or every episode,
Yeah.
And do you like this progression, or do you? Obviously, I'm bringing it up because a few weeks back we have the whole Scorsese and theatrical release blockbuster battle going on.
Right.
I mean, what are your thoughts? There's a place for theater, obviously, or for theatrical release, but I feel like it's not totally a bad thing with going digital or streaming.
Yeah, the nice thing about it is it gives small movies an opportunity to be seen by a larger audience,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the bottom line. And I really appreciate it because I'm not a blockbuster movie guy. I get to do a lot of these great little independent films and play these great characters, and I want people to see it. The beautiful thing about what sort of accidentally happened with The Wretched is that it's almost as if this whole thing happened so The Wretched could have a great release. That's terrible. I don't mean that. But it's in 25 movie theaters,
right?
In movie theaters across the country. It was #1 at the box office over the weekend.
That's fantastic.
It's the weirdest thing ever. And here's a movie that probably would have been swallowed by our other movies, and it's getting such great attention. And I think we're all just kind of blown away.
Yeah,
but it was so much fun.
Absolutely. Let's talk about it because I mean, horror movies, they're definitely clicking right now. Everybody, they've always been popular, and they've definitely seen a resurgence. 92% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, man. The people are loving it.
That's epic.
And drive-ins. Yeah. I mean, you're at drive-ins. I can't tell you the last time I was at a drive-in. I don't want to admit I'm old enough to have gone to drive-ins before, but how amazing is that? And were you able to do some premieres at the drive-ins, or how'd that all go down?
You know what is so kind of amazing with this movie is that we did all of the red carpet premieres. We did Montreal. We had one here. The Pierce brothers went to London and did Fright Fest and so many other wonderful festivals and red carpet things. And then the movie opens and all this happens and we're all quarantined and it turns into a completely different marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then we all kind of went out and did our social distancing to the Mission Tiki Drive-In and watched it there. And that was our kind of second premiere. So we really got the best of both worlds with this one, and we're so fortunate. So had it been just that, I kind of would have felt like, yeah, we got gypped. We're standing in a giant parking lot watching our movie, but it wasn't. We got all these other wonderful events and galas and parties and all that stuff and red carpets and pictures, and then on the opening day we get to go at to this drive-in and watch it.
That's fantastic.
So that was super fun.
Yeah, I bet, man. I love drive-ins. I'm old school. I'm nostalgic. I love drive-ins. So that's
even the young
we took
people
my truck and backed up and sat in the back and watched
that's epic.
In lawn chairs.
Yeah.
There you go. Kick back with a couple of brewskis and enjoy the show, right?
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Well, like I said, it's being received really well, and I love it's #1 movie in the box office. It's fantastic.
It's real.
So tell everybody about it a little bit, because it's a pretty intense kind of a drama, nightmarish horror film, right? Tell everybody about it a little bit who might not be familiar with it.
It is a dark kind of horror film. It's about, well, from my perspective, it's about a kid who comes to visit his dad for the summer, right? I mean, I play Liam Shaw, the dad.
Right.
And my son comes to visit me for the summer, and it's really a story about Ben, who's my son. Mm-hmm. And he's had some troubles, and so there's an issue with believing the stories that he tells, and he starts seeing these things happen at the neighbor's house, and he tries to convince me of what's going on, and he tries to convince his friends of what's going on, and of course nobody believes him.
Right.
And so he ends up uncovering this, I don't know, 1,000-year-old witch, and I won't give away too many details, but shit. All of this stuff starts to happen, and we all realize that whatever it is that he's talking about is real. And as we start to investigate and as things start to pull apart, bad things happen on both sides of the fence. So it's no longer just the neighbors, it's bled into our house, and it's having a negative effect on all of us. So then we've got to really deal with the issue and take care of the problem.
That was a really well said synopsis.
It was.
I love the bad things happen. The whole change of voice when he says bad things happen. That I want to see it right now. Who doesn't want to see it after bad things happen?
Yeah.
That's fantastic, man. And it's on video on demand right now, also, right?
It is. Yeah. The IFC Midnight continued the release as planned, and it started in a couple of drive-ins, and then it got really popular, and it's up to 25 or maybe even more now. I don't know, but it's available there and on VOD, Amazon, Hulu, Apple TV, all those places. Yeah.
And it's the perfect time, like you said. I mean, everybody quarantined, everybody is going to the streamers to watch. So,
yeah,
I mean, you know, that's fantastic, man,
exactly.
dude. Congratulations on
Seriously.
it. I mean, it sounds like it's epic, and it sounds like it's going to be a huge hit. And congratulations on that, man.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited about this film.
And we are definitely going to direct everybody to where to find it and where to watch it for sure.
Great.
And rumor has it, though, small world. Rumor has it you're friends with one of our former guests. Is that right?
That's right. When I watched one of the podcasts, and I was like, "Oh, Autumn Reeser."
Yeah.
She played my wife on. She was Amanda Weil, playing my wife on The Whispers, which was a show that we did together for Steven Spielberg's ABC drama, The Whispers.
Yes.
Which was a couple of years ago. It was really, that was another kind of creepy, scary show.
It really was. And I got to tell you, I was a fan, and I was not okay when it didn't get picked up. I was loving the storyline. Yeah. I really thought this was going to be a hit and move forward, and I was like shocked when it didn't, man.
Yeah, I think we all were. And I think the really frustrating thing was it left all these loose ends.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Oh man, not cool. Well, we are thrilled that you came on the show. We love Autumn. Now we love you. And
thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you've been an absolute blast to talk to, man. I just think the knowledge that you have about the industry and what you bring, and it's just been phenomenal, dude.
Thank you. Appreciate
that. Of course.
Super fun talking to you guys.
Yeah, man, we like to get a little crazy, you know. And I mean, this interview is really going to help the up-and-comers trying to break into the industry to see what to do, especially that pivotal stepping stone is theater. I mean, that's where you hone your craft.
Yeah.
So
a
lot of people are really going to enjoy this one. And what we like to do at the end of each interview is have our guests leave a little piece of advice for up-and-comers that are trying to break into the industry, obviously what they're going to do, and what pitfalls would you say to try to avoid?
Well, the pitfalls part is a great question. Like Autumn said, get in class, right?
Yes.
Get in class. You know, the analogy that she had about skiing was great, right? You don't have to buy the ski. First, you got to learn to ski. Get in class. And the other thing is, I think it's a small world and it's an even smaller business. So you got to be a good human. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of egos out there, and if you're driven to this profession because of your ego, I think you're in it for the wrong reasons. I think you got to learn about acting, you got to learn about yourself, you got to become tough as nails without creating a hard exterior, right? Which I had, which is like a suit of armor.
Oh, that you know, yeah, no, just I didn't mean it, but that's great because everybody says thick skin, but you also have to actually be a softie under that thick skin.
To be a human.
That's great.
You got to then be able to release that and be, available and vulnerable and all that stuff. But that tenacity and discipline, I think, is really, really important. Tenacity and discipline, and maybe a curiosity, a deep knowledge of yourself and of the human experience through observation, I think, is really important as well. That would be my advice.
Definitely.
And the pitfalls?
The pitfalls, just be aware of people that are there to take advantage of you. There are so many people out there trying to take advantage of actors at every turn. And some of them have had these legal battles and, some of those workshops that were going on, which were not about helping actors. They were about just making money.
Right.
Some of those things, I think you got to be really smart. And if your gut is telling you that this is a bad thing or a wrong thing, or that somebody's taking advantage of you, trust it, do a little research, figure it out. But just be careful of those people that are trying to take advantage of young actors that are coming here and, want to get into the industry. It's important.
Solid advice, man. Solid advice from start to finish there. Of
course,
now we want everybody to follow you. So tell everybody where you're at on social media so that they can keep up with you and follow you.
Oh, yeah. Real Jamison Jones, REAL, like the real one. Real Jamison Jones is the Instagram. Jamison Jones is on Facebook, and Jamison Jones with a 0 instead of an O in the Jones is my Twitter account. So all of those places will lead you there, and JamisonJones.com, and we'll take you to my website, and JamisonJonesActingStudio.com will take you to that website.
Nice.
So all those places
nice. I got to tell you, man, the website's pretty sharp. Looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie, man. It's a good looking website.
My brother and his creative team in Australia did that.
Oh, wow.
So shout out to them. They're pretty fantastic.
He really is worldly, isn't he? It's like, my website's done in Australia. It's like fantastic.
He's all over, man.
That's fantastic. Well, we are definitely going to direct everybody there and tell them to follow you. And, of course, make sure everybody watches Wretched. It's everywhere. Like you said, Hulu, Apple, everywhere. You can find it. You're home, you're quarantined. You can watch this movie. It's going to be great.
That's right.
Listen, man, open invite whenever you want to come back on the show to promote anything, or if you just want to come back on and shoot the shit, man. This has been really fun, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, yeah, you guys are great. This was super fun. And thank you for letting me spout all of my knowledge about acting and the belief system and all that. It's something that I'm passionate about. So
no, dude, it's fantastic, and you are the first guest I can say that we has a suit of armor. I don't think we've ever had a guest with a suit of armor before. We literally had a knight on the show. It's brilliant.
That's excellent.
Listen, man, have a great rest of the week, and take care, stay safe, dude, and we'll be in touch soon, man.
Thanks. Same to you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, bye now.
All right, see ya. Bye.
See ya. Man, that guy was just so real and just humble and just so knowledgeable about the entertainment industry.
Yeah, just he sounds like a teacher.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Very. I want to sign up for his master class.
Yeah,
but then also passionate about what he does, and you can just really kind of tell.
Yeah,
you brought it up though, humble. I like the guy. He's like, I couldn't sing, I couldn't dance. I'm trying to do theater.
It's like
it's like I always love guests like that, man.
Yeah,
and just really fun to talk to, really knowledgeable.
Agreed. Thank you again, Jamison Jones, for coming on the show. All right, now it is time for the top 5 segment. Oh man, this week it is top 5 cars we'd like to own, and then of course we wanted to keep it a little entertainment related. So. Movies and television cars that we have seen, popular ones.
That's right, because we're equal opportunity. You see all these lists out there, and it's just movies or just TV. It's like, why can't we have both?
Exactly. It's all entertainment.
Exactly, and it's all kick-ass cars.
Exactly. Well, my number 5 is DMC DeLorean from Back to the Future. I love the butterfly doors. It just looks so badass. Honestly, I would buy one of those cars right now.
Seriously, and they boy, are they hard to come by, too. I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of the most iconic cars of all time.
Yeah,
you got to have it, and maybe you can travel.
Hell yeah, definitely back in time.
Exactly. My number 5 is the 1961 Ferrari 250 GT from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ah, yeah.
You remember Cameron's daddy's car that they jacked?
Yeah.
I mean, but it's a Ferrari.
Yeah, right.
It's so beautiful. And you know me. We've talked about this, and you're going to find this trend on my list. But I'm a '60s old school. I think the '60s were the best year ever for cars.
Yeah.
I'm just going to
say it. To be honest, they were.
Just going to say it.
And fun fact with that one, didn't they get sued because it was...
They did, because apparently 3 or 4 times throughout the movie when they were supposedly driving that Ferrari, it was a Spider, and they just put the Ferrari symbol on it. Ferrari didn't like that. Ferrari's like, that's not our car. That's not a Ferrari. We're suing you.
Yeah, we're suing
and
the fuck out.
They won. I'm just saying they won.
Makes sense. It makes sense. For my number 4, I got Lincoln Furtra, or whatever it is, the 1966 Batmobile.
Yes.
That shit's badass, especially in... forget what it's called, that Mark Wahlberg rock movie, Rockstar, I think it's called, where he has the Batmobile. That shit just looks so badass.
It's badass. And I mean, it's hard to pick a Batmobile because they're all pretty badass and like all the things. But you got to go with the original, right? Like like you did. I mean, you have to. And now I'm going to throw a little piece of trivia at you. I just saw that the state of California is designating the 3 acres of land that are right in front of and surround the Batcave entrance for the Batmobile from the 1966 as historical landmarks that nobody can ever build on it or touch it.
That's
the
cool.
entrance to the Batmobile's Batcave will forever be okay.
That's hilarious.
So, right? That's pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
All right, my number 4 is Grease Lightning.
Yeah.
The 1948 Ford Deluxe convertible, better known as Grease Lightning.
Such a badass
car. I mean, come on. Whether it's the hot rod red color or the one that we end up seeing with the white it's still a badass car. Well done.
Either way, yeah. I mean, Grease Lightning.
And a badass song, all right?
Exactly.
It's kick-ass.
My number 3, it's a little haunted. I will say it's a little haunted. Porsche 5500, or I should say 5500 Spider convertible, little bastard, James Dean.
Yes.
The one he died in.
There's that Spider again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it is a badass car. I mean, when he's riding up to the whole fucking like outlook, and I mean, fucking badass.
I know, so good.
Okay, I threw my 40 out there, so now the rest of my list is 60s. Number 3 for me. I love this one. What happens in the van stays in the van.
Yes.
It's the 1966 Chevy Sport van, otherwise known as the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. I mean, come on.
I know.
Come on. The rumor is it was actually a mixture of a bunch of different vans. Nobody could really identify what this van was.
Yeah.
But this is what they believe was the model that was used for the Mystery Machine. So
that's badass.
It's badass.
The shaggin' wagon, man.
The shaggin' wagon. That's right. So much weed going on in the back of that van.
Yeah, there was.
And we don't know what else was going on, but boy, there's a reason they were eating all the time.
Hell yeah. My number 2, the 1967 Impala Supernatural.
Yes.
I mean, you know, because it's on yours as
Baby.
well.
That's also my number 2. We can clear that one up real quick. That Baby. I mean, and because we're knowledgeable, we just want to throw this out there. Not the original car.
Yeah, that's
in the
wild.
Original script, he was supposed to drive a Mustang.
Yeah.
A 65 Mustang.
Yeah. Completely different story.
Completely different story. They realized, well, we can't throw all those like hunting gear in the back of a Mustang, and it's a Baby is Baby.
Baby is Baby. I mean, such a badass car.
It is. And again, another one that everybody's on the hunt for but really can't find.
Yeah.
So if you find one, we want it.
Hell yeah.
What you? Oh, well, no. I just gave you my number 2. You're on the number 1.
All right.
It was both Baby. We both had Baby.
It's true. I forgot. Okay. Number 1 for me is a 1999 Nissan Skyline GTR R34. This is a Fast and Furious car, Paul Walker's blue one, or a silver and blue one, and Too Fast, Too Furious.
There you go.
Such a badass car. Fun fact about this one, it is illegal in the United States because it's too fucking fast.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, maybe the real one Paul was driving should have been illegal too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a lot of like things for the name of the car.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of numbers. Just maybe that's why it's illegal.
Right.
Like, we can't put that on a registration. It's too long.
It's too much.
My number 1, like, I literally have this picture on my phone. Like I said, I've wanted this car since I was a kid, for as long as I can remember. The 1968 Ford Mustang GT390.
Yes.
From Bullitt, from Steve McQueen's Bullitt.
Of course.
Mustang Fastback. There's a lot of names for this bad boy because it's got but when he is racing through the city against that Camaro in this Mustang, and it's a muscle car versus muscle car. I'd take the Camaro too, by the way, the 68 Camaro also. But for me, that's where my love affair for the Mustang began.
Hell yeah.
And for my 60s, for the 60s cars. And just, I want this car so bad.
Car. Oh, yes. Man. And I mean, there's a couple that just like barely missed the list, like General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard.
I mean, who doesn't want that?
Exactly. And
Knight Rider.
Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
It's so funny that 2 Trans Ams, right? Knight Rider and Smokey and the Bandit. But I mean,
So many good cars, though, guys. So many good cars. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the top 5 segment. What are your top 5 cars that you have seen in movies or television? Let us know. We love to hear your interaction with this because, I mean, so many good cars throughout the years, man.
I mean, definite, and you don't even have to be like a movie or TV lover. Yeah, you're a car lover.
Yeah.
Just tell us what you want, I mean,
exactly. Well, now it is time for the IMDb Pro Top Trending segment. Oh, man, we love this app. So many news breaking each and every day. You can track box office. You can track actors. You can track publicists. This is your one-stop shop to breaking into the entertainment industry.
True. The Bible. They call it the Bible for a reason.
Exactly.
Is that blasphemic?
The number 1 trending movie this week is Netflix's Extraction. Chris Hemsworth and the Russo brothers. I'm just going to say, this story has been told before.
Yeah, I felt like I needed an extraction to get out of the room I was watching it in.
Yeah.
That might be a little harsh. Just very familiar story.
Yeah.
Just not like anything where I could just not... I could take it or leave it.
Yeah. I mean, it was decent, I guess. It was decent, but in the day and age of streaming where it's kind of harder to keep your attention at home and where it's easier just to turn off the TV, I was just turning off the TV. I'm just saying.
Well, and I think, unfortunately for Chris Hemsworth, he's fallen into that trap, if you will, where Ragnarok was so good and that reincarnation of that character was so good that now that's the bar.
Exactly.
And if he ain't living up to that kind of a performance,
Yeah, that's it.
So, that can be dangerous sometimes, but
Exactly.
anyway.
Exactly.
It's getting a sequel.
Yeah, it's getting a sequel. It's like a Michael Bay film, in my opinion.
True. It's true.
The top trending TV show is, by no surprise, this show is fucking epic if you haven't started watching it. Hollywood. So good. So good.
Kudos, Ryan Murphy.
Right?
Kudos. This show kicks ass.
It does. It does. I mean, all you entertainment lovers out there, especially for the historic entertainment industry, for the golden age of Hollywood, this is it, guys. Go back and watch it.
Absolutely. And there's this one scene. It's my favorite scene. We've talked about this, but there's a scene in an episode where they do a table read of the film. And they're doing the table read, but then they also flash the scenes of it. It's just... I love it.
I know. So good. So good. And the top trending star is Julia Gardner, still up there from Ozark. She's been on the past month.
Yeah. She's going to take over, I don't know. How long is she going to stay there?
Exactly.
That's the thing, right?
Exactly. Kudos to her. She's like Kiki on the Billboard chart.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
I'm going to take my horse, that one, Lil Nas. Exactly. Is she going to be like Little Nas level on the IMDb? Right. I don't know.
That shit's so funny. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for getting a little crazy with us on episode 113.
Yes.
It's insane. Absolutely insane. Thank you again, Jamison Jones, for coming on this show. Be sure to follow him on all social media platforms and try to get into his masterclass. Man is teaching up a storm.
Seriously, if you want to be an actor.
Exactly. That's the guy to teach you. And Spencer Garrett. We didn't know he had a masterclass as well.
Right? Right. We should not be surprised, though. Spencer does everything.
Everything. Be sure to follow the company at Crazy Ant Media on all podcast platforms. We're everywhere on all social media platforms, I should say. Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, all that good shit. And follow us both personally on our social media platforms. Myself at JLoFantastic and
Crazy Ant Guy in 1970.
That's right. And be sure to subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Watch us on YouTube and so many more. It's amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff. And visit our website, crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. Things are going fast with great quality. We love everything on there. And the new teaser trailer of the Ravens Vision is now up.
Yes, so the young one, the young school.
Exactly.
If you will, new school.
New school is up,
That's
so be
right.
sure to check it out, man. We appreciate all of our followers and supporters. Y'all are amazing. I got to say that favorite part of this episode for me was probably the Russell Crowe thing with the mob thriller. I just love anything gangster mafia type shit, and I mean, it coming to Viacom is going to be a good place for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just perfect. And yeah, he's total gangster.
Yeah.
I'm totally down with that. I liked all the talk about Star Wars and how they're bringing the old in with the new and kind of merging it all and just making a presence on Disney Plus. I think it's going to be epic for Disney and for Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree. You know who else should make a feature or make an appearance in Star Wars?
Oh my God, she would be epic.
She would. Oprah!